Hello, Future Bestsellers. We are very, very glad to see you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So this is kind of a funny story. Right before we went on, we were talking about today's topic, which is overwhelm. Boom, boom, boom. The feeling that you get right before it's like the last stop on the train before burnout. So that is the topic that we are going to talk about today, because I feel like it's kind of important, especially for writers, right? And we're all like, oh God, yes. So let's quickly do our intros. We have our other friends will be dropping in soon, but let's go ahead and get started. We have some friends already hanging out in the chat, so that's awesome. So let's get started. I'm going to start with you, Michelle. Would you please do your introduction?
All right. I'm Michelle Schusterman. I'm a middle grade and young adult author, and my YouTube channel is Writing Workshops, Traditional Publishing Chat, and Writing Blog.
Thank you so much for being here today. Sako Toomey, how about you?
Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voight. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. In fact, today I am working on a marketing boot camp for YouTube, so I'm scripting out.
I might need to join that camp.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So let's say hello to our friends in the chat, and then I want to talk about our just want to dive right into our topic today.
Yeah.
Ginny Noble's here. Hello, Ginny. We are very glad to see you today. I just realized I forgot to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Lisa Daly. Welcome to my channel, where we talk about how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. I am the author of contemporary romance and nonfiction advice. RC Scott is here. It really is like my brain is. I was telling Sako like right before we started. My brain's like that. That's what's happening today. Right. I'm shorting out. RC Scott is here. Hello. We are very, very glad to see you. And Yuel is here. Good morning, writing family. Good morning. Happy writing. Do not forget to smash that like button. Thank you. You're awesome. All right. Bonnie's here. Bonnie being Bonnie. I love that. That is awesome. Hello, Bonnie. We're very glad to see you. RC says hello. MM Ward is here. Hello, Mama Ward. We are very glad that you made it today. He has never had shrimp taco before. Can I just say I'm a little surprised? Are you not a fan of shellfish? Sometimes people don't.
That or they are not on a coast.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
If they're like
right?
in the middle of the country, like maybe shrimp tacos aren't the thing.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a point. It's funny because that is a point actually. I have lived on the coast for so long, I cannot fathom a world without fresh seafood.
Yes.
Right? And shrimp taco trucks. So yeah, I'm sorry, RC. I'm sorry. But when you are on vacation somewhere coastal, you should definitely try one because they are super delicious. Indeed. Claude is here. Hello, Claude. You know who else is here? Doll Cecil Runo. Hi, Doll.
Hi.
We're very glad you made it today. We literally were like, and here's Story Detective. So there we go. All right, let's do a couple other intros while we are here. Story D is here. Doll Cecil Runo is here. Doll, thank you so much for being here today. Tell us a little bit about you and your channel before we get started.
Hello there, humans. I am Doll Cecil Runo. I'm a blind storyteller for introspective readers, and my YouTube channel is a strange combination of wildlife and nature meets writing stuff. So in a way that only I could pull it off somehow. So yeah, welcome to my random stuff.
Well, welcome to the stream today. Story Detective is here. Story D, tell us all about you and your awesome channel.
My awesome channel, which is slightly on hold, is where I take all forms of storytelling and put it under a Sherlockian microscope and break down the craft points to make the viewer's journey easier. And more is coming soon. I am in the midst of various things, which are needing to be prioritized, but things will happen when they happen.
Things will happen when they happen. I don't know if you guys can all hear Zeus. Zeus is the name of my former puppy who's no longer with us. And apparently he's come back from the dead to bark at the target person at the front door who just rang the doorbell. That's Odin, actually.
Yeah, I hear a dog in the background, and I'm like, doggy, that's not Rosa. Rosa has another voice.
Yeah, yes, the dog that sounds like a seal is Odin. So he's all the way across the house. But you know how it is. If you get stuff delivered, it always comes right at the most inopportune moment. So, usually. So, but I'm grateful it came right to my doorstep. So that's nice. Okay. So today we are going to be talking, we're going to go back and say hey to everybody in the chat, but we are also going to be talking about, for everybody who just popped in, we're going to be talking about overwhelm today, as in the last stop on the train to burnout. Overwhelm, too much stuff on your plate. And I think the difference that we were talking about sort of between overwhelm and burnout is that overwhelm is, maybe has an end date, but there's just too much stuff that you're trying to do at one time. And yeah, and that is that, right? When I told Sako and Michelle we were going to talk about this today, they were both like, yes. So I think, yeah, exactly. So
overwhelm is me.
Overwhelm is doll. That's yes. Your words, doll. Okay, so Amy's here. Hi. You are indeed cray for never having tried this superb delicacy that is shrimp tacos. It is delicious. Ginny Noble also has not had a shrimp taco before. You guys are making me so hungry. Colin Clark is here. Hello. We're very glad
Hey, Colin.
today.
From Mailer Night Classic to New Mailer.
What? I totally missed. Doll, your audio is cutting like in and out. I'm not sure what's going on with you. Hopefully it's just a little internet thing that'll resolve quickly. Barrett's here. Hello, Barrett. We are super glad to see you today. Whoop, whoop. Love it, Sako. Can't wait. Yep, that's going to be exciting. So we're talking about Sako's marketing boot camp, which is going to be pretty cool. This Radiant Live is here. Hello. We're very glad to see you today. We've got all kinds of cool gamers here. Hi, cool gamer. Glad to see you today. All right. Lots of chit chat. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Very nice. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Wait. Or not look at it because I can't get StreamYard to work. Barrett says, yes, Mama Maggie, the YouTube vacation is good for my soul this week. Yeah. So, Barrett, that's really smart to take care of yourself. All right, here we go. Oh, Maggie, I feel your pain. Totally. All right. So here's what we're talking about today. We're talking about overwhelm and how to avoid it, if you have tips, or just how you feel about it. And I will just share where I am right now. I have, for several weeks, had a lot of deadlines for like pretty good sized projects. And my daughter has been super sick, and she went to the ER over the weekend. And so, of course, you're going to shift your priority. She's okay now. She actually had a kidney infection. But it was really painful and bad. Yeah. And so she, like, of course you drop it when your kids are sick, you drop everything. And that's what I did. But then, like, my brain was kind of I was already starting to feel burnout. And then that added, stuff made it worse. And now I'm farther behind on all my deadlines. And I'm like feeling like I have too many projects to humanly complete. And normally I would say, well, just take off the things, like take off everything off your plate that absolutely is not drop dead. My problem is that everything is drop dead. And yeah, money has been exchanged. Stuff needs to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there too.
So let's share, shall we? Who else feels that way? Has felt that way.
I wish I had deadlines.
Yeah.
Deadlines would really help me.
Deadlines do help me. I'm with you. I like having deadlines. I just don't like when I have like 6 of them all at once.
I
Yes.
refuse to have them all at once. I try to divvy them.
Sometimes they just stack up on you.
You can't, I mean, that's just
Yeah.
part of this life. You can't
Yeah.
always control it, and you just have to deal with it, you know?
Right.
But
Right.
it's hard.
Yeah. Well, and even
That's
if you,
that's why I gave myself an entire year to get ready to publish that book.
Mhm.
That's good. Yeah.
It is
absolutely.
good. It
Yeah.
is good. Sometimes. Yeah, go ahead.
My past problem was I was working with a team of artists and writers, and you could count on at least every second or third month somebody else fumbling the ball, and everybody else had to pick up the pace. So it was entirely deadline crunches. You couldn't get too comfortable. So it was a real messy system. But currently I am in the aftermath of burnout, which I had burnout in 2020 going into 2021. Now what I face after that fact, and this is a common thing with me that I have to remind myself, I feel like I need to catch up, that I've wasted time. And then I push. And whenever you push, you only cause resistance for yourself, because it's like law of physics, that equal and opposing force pushes back and suddenly you're in a standstill, which
Right.
is kind of where I am. I'm making progress, but it's slow, and I have to keep reminding myself, just back off.
Yeah. Well, and slow is okay. You're still moving forward when you're going
Yeah.
slowly. I mean, that's it. It's like, for me, I'm okay with moving my own deadlines. If I felt this way, I'd be like, okay, I'm just going to push this back. But when you have deadlines for work you're doing for other people, right, it feels like I know I can't, like, they're depending on me for projects, and they have their hard deadlines, and I got to get it done. So that's how it goes. And so managing that, like, and so I tried, like, okay, I'm just going to take this, like, I'm just going to take a little break. I'm going to take like this day where I'm just not going to worry about it, like, to try and reset my brain a little bit. And that was helpful. So I'm slightly less stressed than I was before. But also now I'm like, oh crap, what am I going to do? I was like, because all that work is still right there. And I think it was probably good. And I've let myself sleep in a little longer than I normally would, which cuts into my working time. But also I feel like sleep is, like, so helpful. Laura Nettles just popped in. Hi, Laura. Glad to see you. I don't know. Thoughts, guys? What do you think?
All you can do is really, take the day, reset your brain, and then you just say, okay, time to get busy. Because I believe in the theory that nobody really works any faster than the next person. There's just time spent working. And that's what I would do. I would just get up earlier, work later. I would have little sleep until the deadlines were done, but I would plow through it. I've only ever missed a couple of those crazy deadlines, but life was on a wing and a prayer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I feel that. Anwar's here. Hello. I think you are new to our stream. Welcome. Wait, I want to see. Are you the same Anwar that I think you are? And also, am I saying your name right? Because I'm terrible with names. Please give us a phonetic pronunciation, so I'm not calling you something that is not your name. But welcome either way. So hi, nice to see you. Maya's here. Hello. Barrett says hi to Laura, finally dipping into her manuscript. That's pretty cool. Very, very nice. Good question. How's the romance going? Last week, we were talking about Laura's romance project. She had, like, a big idea for us. So, yeah, we want a status update on that. All right. Maya says, expert at overwhelm. Are you expert at having overwhelm or expert at solving it? Either way, please let us
Either way.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice. Oh, Barrett too. Perfect timing. I'm on overwhelm hiatus. Teach me how to come out the other side. Sadly, I have no answers today. I mean, generally, yeah. Right.
I'm actually coming out of a bout of burnout myself, and I'm trying to, like, ease my way back into productivity.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm working on the boot camp. I should be working on things that pay me money, but everything got put on the back burner, and I need to make a list of all my projects that I have agreed to, and I have been putting that off.
Something that I found helpful, and everybody's different in how they manage their schedules, but when I'm overwhelmed just because I have too many projects all at once, I found that when I make my work schedule for the week, just focusing on one thing a day, like I'm going to not making a little bit of progress on all the things, but making a lot of progress on one thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more productive. I end up getting more done, and it's just way better for my headspace because I'm just like, okay, yes, I have 5 clients right now, but today is about this one.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That
I'm no
is
good at bunching up those things and multitasking either. I can't switch hats that easily.
Yeah,
well, that's it. Code switching, which is what that's called. It takes a lot of brain power to switch from task to task. This is why multitasking is so bad for you, because your brain is like shifting gears, and that actually takes a lot of energy. So that is a super smart strategy, Michelle. It is.
I have a problem with responding to messages or comments or things, so I have to put airplane mode or like block the apps from functioning when I'm doing something, because otherwise if the messenger starts like pinging, I'm like, I have to answer. I cannot just ignore. I have to answer. But the thing is, I say sometimes in messages, I say, okay, I'm going back to work, and the person keeps messaging me, and I'm like, damn, I cannot just leave it. And I have a problem with that. I have to be more strict with back to work, bye. And otherwise I cannot just switch between a conversation and my project. I cannot do both at the time. That's why sprints, usually it's just me socializing instead of me being productive, because I'm taking sprints as a break because my brain doesn't work like that.
Yeah, well, and that's a good, I mean, taking breaks is definitely really important. And also I do find that when I switch off to airplane mode or just shut off all of my other apps that ping me, that it does really help to have that like heads down time, that you're a lot more productive. The other thing is that I'm really trying to work more in the morning, because I am right now more productive. Like I'm trying to work on writing projects in the morning, because I'm a lot more productive at that time of day. And then by 3 or 4 in the afternoon, then I can respond back to people and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel now like I'm super far behind. And apparently I'm not the only one. None of us are the only ones. Exotic Expression Dance Fitness says, perfect. I felt so overwhelmed yesterday. I was almost in tears. I feel you, baby. I'm so sorry. So excited to hear this topic come up. Bryn also came to the right stream today. Thank you so much for being here. Moore, too much stuff. What is this thing? Not making eye contact.
Yeah, Mama Ward and her hold my latte, hold my coffee. Looking at you.
Yeah. So
I
no
have
breaks
a problem
for this guy,
with
too
being
much natural laziness and procrastination.
I have a problem that I say that I'm gonna be more productive in the morning, and then it's like, nope, my brain is like, nope, now I am more productive at night, and then I don't have a pattern. I don't know. I mean, I have sleep pattern now, which is great. Finally, I sleep at night like a normal human being instead of whatever my previous 30 years of life were. But it was awful, but now it's the productivity schedule. Like there's no clear pattern. I try with the weekly planners and things like that. Lisa, you know my story with planners. I struggle, but I have become a little bit better. But the thing is, I am not as rigid as I wish to be. And then it's like I'm more productive in the evenings, and then the next week I am more productive in the afternoon, and then again at night, and then again in the morning. And it's like I don't have a balance, and I don't know why this is.
Whenever you get bit by the muse is, valid. So if you feel like working on it and you're being productive, then I would take advantage of the time.
Yeah.
Whatever time of day that happens to be.
Sometimes you can't help it, but I was recently talking to somebody about this, about habitual sleep patterns and work patterns, and supposedly whenever we change our pattern, we attempt to overcompensate on some other level. And they say it's better to try to have the same pattern and get into a habit every day. Of course, when you're working from home or whatever, you can easily fall into a rut and you need to switch things up in your life a little bit, but try to maintain that pattern.
Yeah, well, I think that I mean, I have to say, daylight savings really messed me up because I was on a really good schedule, a really productive schedule, and I was, I sleep later. Even though theoretically it doesn't seem like it would mess with you that much, it really, really messed with my schedule, and that has just thrown everything else off. Let's go ahead and do our 5-minute warm-up sprint. Emma Ward, Mama says procrastination plus distraction. Procrastination is my biggest problem prepping for camp, finishing my current work in progress. I don't want to leave this world, but I'm just adding chapters to stay there. I feel you on that. Don't add them unless they're necessary, because you're just going to have to edit them out. All right. Let's go ahead and do a 5-minute sprint so we can all get our stuff rolling today. Let me pull this up. All right. Oh, well, apparently it looks like it ran while we were talking. All right, you guys, I'm just going to do this down and dirty today. We don't have any time to waste. Let's go ahead and get our 5-minute warm-up sprint happening. And everybody get your documents, get your coffee or your other caffeinated beverage, or meditate or do your tarot cards or whatever you're going to do in our 5 minutes. And we're going to get started in 3, I can't hear this, 2, 1. Hit it. All right, everybody. Very nice. How did everybody do on the last one? Good. All right,
Just
perfect.
getting organized a bit and figuring out what to do next.
I love that. So Bryn had an excellent point. The longer I give myself, the more I procrastinate finishing it. That's actually a well-known economic principle called Parkinson's law, right?
When I do that, I give myself smaller deadlines just to make sure I make progress throughout the time. Otherwise, yes, I will wait till the last possible second and then try to do it all at once.
Yeah. Well, everybody does. That's the thing. Any project, if your deadline is 6 months away, it takes 6 months. If it's 2 weeks away, it takes 2 weeks. If it's tomorrow, it's done by tomorrow. I mean, that's just the thing.
I've known a lot of people that feel they do their best work under pressure and will just wait and do everything except work on it until the last possible minute, and the night before they'll start the project and bang it out.
That's not me.
I always start like I always get excited with that new project energy, and so I always start things right away. And then there's sometimes time like in the middle, like so. Let's say a project has a 6 week deadline. So my first 3 days, I'm like, yeah, I'm on it. And then 5 weeks pass, and then I finish the project at the very end. So, all right.
I am very similar to Lisa. I am very, very similar. It's like, yay, new project, I'm going to do this. And then it's like a week passes that I don't. And then, but I don't wait for the last minute to retake it. What I do is that I space it out with breaks. Like, okay, I give myself 6 months. So there will be 2 week periods where I don't work on it, but I'm not going to wait until the last month to do it. Like it's complicated, but yeah, I'm similar in that regard.
Well, and I do. Oh, go ahead.
I used to think in terms of the deadline, how much break it up into chunks and parcel it out each day. What do I need to do per day? And at the end of the day, I would look at my work and figure out what I had to do the next day and the next day and the next day and plan it out.
That's how I am for books. Right. So I go, okay, I have, you can't do that with a book. You can't, well, you could, but it would not be a good plan. Yeah. I do not do that for books. For books, I'm like in the chair every day, knocking out my 2,000 to 4,000 to 5,000 words, depending on where I am in the book. So yeah, that you can't write a whole book that way. I mean, I'm sure people do, but I cannot write a book that way. No. But other projects like, term papers in college or sometimes other projects are like that too. Okay. So we have someone named Johnny Bravo who, are you a real person, Johnny Bravo? But thank you for that. I'm not quite sure. I'm just going to say thanks. I assume it's directed at the group. Thank you very much. Exotic Expression says, I'm going nuts trying to set up a proper writing area that's functional, but also visually appealing. I feel you on that. Literally took every last item out of my writing/dance room. So does that like calmness of the room help, or are you taking everything out so that you're trying like to kind of decide what to bring back into the room? I mean, for me, like I have kind of, my stuff sort of collects, but it's basically anything that sort of brings me joy. And I do have like a little cozy writing office, but I have to have like my super comfy chair and everything else and my laptop, and that's pretty much it. Between my depression and applying for rentals, I'm overwhelmed. Oh, I'm so sorry. I keep putting off writing. I keep putting off reading. The house always needs cleaning and tidying. I need to feed myself. So feeding first.
Yes.
Right? Cleaning, tidying last for sure, unless it stresses you out. Like sometimes, right? So if it feels, or you can just tidy up where you are for now, if that, like if the clutter makes you feel crazy, which it does.
It is someone with depression here. Cleaning is difficult. It really is difficult. And in my particular case, I don't know in the case of this person, but in my case, it's like I'm wasting time. I should be writing. I should be working. Why am I cleaning? And so what I try to do for that is that I clean or do like the house chores when I'm listening to an audiobook. and I am listening intently. So it's like I'm still working, I'm reading, and I'm reading as a writer, and I'm cleaning at the same. So I am hard on myself in that regard, that I have to be working all the time.
Right.
Yeah, and that has to do with depression because of
Sure.
disability and employment. I know the root of my problem is I don't get a 9-to-5 job because I'm blind. So that influences a lot my depression. That increases the I should be working thing. And yeah.
Right.
So cleaning is difficult, and you have to figure out why is it difficult? What is making you think I should be doing something else other than cleaning? And when you do it in chunks. That's what I do.
Yeah.
One area per day, and take your breaks.
And if you, a lot of times folks with depression, and certainly I've had this myself, it feels too overwhelming to do anything. And so if all you can do that day is take a shower, then take a shower.
Exactly.
And just think about what's more important to you when you're saying you're putting off your writing, putting off your reading. Decide which of those things is most important. So if it's your writing or your reading or eating and showering, then, if you've got 15 minutes worth of energy, another 15 minutes next week, tomorrow, then do that. But beating yourself up takes a lot of energy that you don't need to waste on that. Nobody will die if your house is messy. And in fact, whose house would you rather go over to? My friend Lisa McLeod already said this. She said this for years. She says, whose house would you rather hang out with? Is it your friend who's got bills stuck down the counter, who is like funny and glad to see you? Or is it the person who always has like the perfectly clean, perfectly decorated, every pillow fluffed house, right? Right.
Yeah.
I'm hanging out with the lady with the bills on the countertop and an open bottle of wine on the, in the middle of the table. That's my friend right there. So take care of yourself. That's the most important thing. Okay, so Exotic Expression Dance Fitness has said, I've been avoiding it, but I'm finally going to invest in a decent setup for writing, new desk, new chair, whatever accessories I need. It's important enough to spend money on. True. Absolutely. All right. Yes, Maya, what was happening with you last week? Amy says that's the worst feeling as a freelancer. It is, right? Knowing others' work depends on you finishing your own. Amy says this to, I owe Amy notes on, she's doing my website, and I have literally owed her notes on my website. She did a great job, and I have stuff to tell her, and I have not done it. So I'm very sorry if I'm contributing to your overwhelm. I apologize. But yes, it really does. When you feel like you can't do it. Barrett says, great investment. Exotic Expression Dance Fitness. Very good. Oh, Maya. Went to the hospital for iron, came out, got $100 parking ticket, got a call about a guy saying I scratched his car. Oh my gosh. Okay. I would go to the parking ticket, go to court if you can, and just explain you were going to the hospital. Good Lord.
I think it turned out okay.
Friend had a COVID scare. Nurse called my mom, confused the names of the results, and accidentally told her she had cancer. Oh my God. Had some work things going on. Holy crap, you've had a bad week. I hope your iron is better.
You're like an hour behind in comments.
Am I? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys. I'm the worst. Okay, I'm just going to roll through some of these. Already overwhelmed, started decided. You too. Yes, there we go. I know it's a lot. Oh, Maya says things are better now.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I saw that one.
I'm so glad. I too love a happy ending. I'm very sorry things were so challenging for you. Amy says, I have to immerse myself as well. Michelle, it's the only way to, yep, exactly. So she's talking about staying on one project at a time. All right. Barrett says daylight savings is a tool of the devil. I totally agree with that. Agree. All right. I'm going to try and get through some of these really fast. Very nice. Laura says, oh, there we go. Very nice. All right. I am 7 hours behind. You know why? It's because Caro's not here today to to whip me into shape.
And then I
Oh,
remember
am I
it's
supposed
too
to be whipping
late.
you into shape? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
I know, right?
Yeah,
So
Sako,
Lily-
you're in the box of.
Yeah, you're in the box next to me, so it's your job is to keep me on
I
track.
guess, yeah. So you should be skimming rather
I'm on
than
the box
doing each and
below,
every.
so I'm gonna also try.
You're gonna help. You got okay. There we go. I want to be the person who works well ahead of time, but I tend to work best close to deadlines. I heard that's an ADHD trait. It might be, but I think that's true for most humans.
It's most people, yeah.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Let's go ahead. Hold on here. All right, Claude has an interesting thing. I decided to take things slow drafting, but I try to compensate with editing previous drafts.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. All right, I am going to I didn't even pull up our timer. Hold on. Give me a second. Sorry, you guys.
Let's have a timer.
Here. All right. Ugh. This is bad. Like I didn't. Okay, here it is. Dun, dun, dun. It's coming.
It's
All right.
coming.
There we go. I assume it's coming. I may have just pulled up somebody else's timer. Wait. Oh, this seems like a perfect time for StreamYard to put up a pop-up ad telling me to upgrade for multiple cameras. That's what you want to deal with in the middle of a stream, right? You're like, yeah, let's talk about that. All right, we've got it. It's going. 3, 2, 1 with no ado. All right. I should bring my microphone over. How about that? So very nice. How did everybody do on that sprint?
A little better.
Yeah, that's good. I spilled my drink all over my desk, my full drink all over my desk.
Oh, great.
So yeah, I'm like holding up my keyboard like, yeah. So, but I got it cleaned up. Parts of my desk are probably a little bit sticky, but I figure I'll do that afterwards. And I do have my drink back.
I worked on preparing what I need to do for the self-editing rounds on April.
Oh, good.
So I did something. I tried.
That's great. Very nice. All right. Barrett made coffee and finished a newspaper. I'm not sure what's the. Ooh, that was a half an hour ago. All right. How about you? Oh, Michelle, did I turn you off? Or you? There we go. Okay. So Michelle, how'd you do on the last one?
Good. I'm working on character sheets for my book. So yeah, got it.
Very nice. Very, very nice. How about you, Sako? What'd you work on?
I worked on horror geek stuff.
Yay! He asked me about that periodically. So that's good. He'll be very glad to hear that. Heather had said, I just had this issue. I got started on a project, did a bit of research, got busy, finally started actually producing the content of the project. Yes. Barrett feels rage, pain. We're buying a house, feel all that stress. I'll reach out to you. Oh, you're so sweet. Very good job. All right, here we go. Ooh, Laura's got a book recommendation. Light the Dark, Writers on Creativity, Inspiration, and the Artistic Process. That sounds very fascinating. Very nice. All right, this is interesting. Regina says, I bought 4 kitchen-sized trash containers. They've changed my life. My house is so much tidier. I'm so confused. Do you just throw everything away? Or are you like scooping stuff into like the container to move it to another room? What do you do with the trash container?
What do you do with the trash cans?
I'm very excited to hear about this. I feel like
recycle.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she's using them for trash or some other thing, but I'm dying to know. Maya says, for depression, celebrate all successes. Yes, that is so true. Picked up laundry off the floor. Success. Is success. Walked outside. Success. That is so true because it feels like such a job sometimes. Like it feels like it's all the effort in the universe to just take a shower sometimes. So I think that is a great advice. Great advice.
That.
I usually listen to videos with writing advice as I can. Yep. Yes, true. I think a lot when I clean. Like I really enjoy. This is so funny, and I don't do it very often because I mostly have tile floors in Florida. But I do find it soothing to vacuum. Does anybody else feel that way, or is it just me? I just like the noise of it, I think. I'm not sure what it is. I don't vacuum very often because I'm fortunate enough to have a cleaning person come in to do that. But I actually enjoy vacuuming. Now, do I enjoy cleaning bathrooms? No, I do not.
The droning noise can be kind of
right?
Hypnotic for some people. Yes.
Yeah, I know. I have the same feeling. I have the same fondness for the dishwasher. And I'm pretty sure it's because when I was a kid, I would do my homework in the kitchen around the time of day that my mom always ran the dishwasher. And so, right. So I have like this, I don't know. I feel like everything's right with the world when the dishwasher is running. Like if I can hear that sound, it's weird. I know. All right. So, Barrett says, depression and I are old frenemies. We're on the outs right now, but trust will be acquainted. I know. I feel that. Hang in there, Ray. This is a good point. Decluttering to a more minimalist space has been very helpful to work through depression. Less stuff to clean and organize means more time, energy, and focus for creativity. And Heather says piles are a given when you have a small child. That is the truth. All right. Eva has had chaos rooms or closets where the mess is behind a door. If I don't need it, doesn't invite ants, it can go in that. That is a really good piece of advice, because then the place where you're, sort of spending your living time doesn't have to be chaotic.
I used to do that when I was single, I would pile
Yeah.
everything in closets and it's like out of sight, out of mind.
Uh-huh. Yes. I think that's a really good. I think so.
I have that
Yeah,
with luggage. I have like luggage from the times I used to travel, and when there's a mess, I'm just like open the luggage, throw it in there.
Oh
Chaos
my
luggage.
gosh. All right. So Maya says, "Oh my God, that makes me think of the episode in Friends where Chandler finds Monica's messy closet." That's hilarious. I'm sorry. Flashback.
Messy.
All right. I'm in the reservation of my mind. Oh, that's interesting. That is a deep quote. All right. He explains how we keep revisiting our prisons. He reworded it in a way that hit me. I'm in the childhood bedroom of my mind.
Yeah, that's it, really. It's so much past programming, and those things, we stumble over them. And I think creative people do that more because we're in there kind of knocking things around, kind of drawing from it.
Right.
And when we open that space, when we're creative, sometimes it can seep out, sometimes in good ways, sometimes in not so good ways.
Hmm. I think that's true, right? And we spend a lot of time contemplating the human condition because it's sort of a job requirement. And
Yeah.
right, it's
My whole art career was based on childhood anger and proving people wrong just because that part of my life had so much of it.
right.
And after, working through that adrenalized state for so many years, burnout really set in, and then I couldn't go near it for a long time. Actually, right now, to offset a little bit of what I'm going through with the writing and the burnout of the past year or so, is I'm getting back to working on some art. And I'm finding now that I can look at it as one project fueling the other and also trying to be a more complete version of myself. So hence, that's why the YouTube channel is kind of unreserved, because I'm working on ways to feel more creative. Because
Yeah.
I used to be a lot more of a powerhouse creator, and after the burnout, it's been up and down where I get either a lot done or a little done, and I want to get back to having that kind of energy if that's possible. So I'm getting fuel from both.
That's great.
That is exactly what describes my feeling after querying for so long. I feel like if I didn't do the indie route, like after everything I read and after every article about editors, like after reading the dumpster fire that is the traditional industry right now, I was like, I think if I don't go indie, I'm going to truly burn myself out and this book will never get published. So that's exactly how I feel. Whoop.
Whoops,
It's
sorry
time
about
for a
that.
sprint.
It's time for a sprint. I was just trying to quietly rewind it while you were talking, but no. Thank you. That was a great place to end, though. So, yeah. So Speaking of being productive,
Speaking
and
of
I,
writing your works.
that's right. So here's a good thing, though, you guys. If you have not seen, Robert just posted something on his Facebook, some art. If you have not seen it, it's pretty cool.
Yes, it's
Definitely head
phenomenal.
over there to look at that. And so if you are slacking this sprint like I'm like trying to just knock out emails that I have that are overdue for me. So let's go ahead and put the 20 minutes on the clock, and we're going to get started with another sprint. I hope yours is a productive one. All right, everybody, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Sprint. I can't push any of my buttons. Hold on. All right, there we go. So who did I mute? I think I muted Michelle. Maybe Michelle muted herself. Okay, so hi, welcome back, everybody. You can't hear me?
I can.
I think Michelle. Oh, there you go. You're good, Michelle. Say hi.
No, she can't hear us.
Oh no. We can definitely hear
Well,
you.
we can definitely hear you.
That's crazy. Do you want to pop out and come back in and see if that fixes it?
What is happening?
We can definitely hear you.
We
Okay.
hear you,
Yeah.
Michelle.
All right, fantastic. So we had such great comments in the chat while we were going on here. So
How about now?
hi, Michelle. Can you hear us now?
Apparently not.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I can't hear anything.
Yes, we can hear you.
That doesn't make sense.
So weird. Did you accidentally like mute your stuff? I'm gonna go on.
I had problems
right.
this morning with StreamYard. Suddenly it was asking me questions about if I wanted to give Chrome access to my microphone and all that. And that usually doesn't pop up. So I'm like, I thought it was just one of those things that they were trying to
When
get access.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
had the
try to
same
share a
thing.
screen and it asked for
No.
that stuff?
No, it was right when you log in. I had the
Mhm.
same
Yeah,
thing. And
I
thought,
had
like,
that happen recently too.
I was like, is that?
It must have
is
been
that
an update.
normal? Yeah.
I said no, and then I couldn't log in. So I had to go back to my settings and reset everything. That's
not
why I was a
good.
couple minutes late.
Oh, all right. That's super crazy. So we had like great comments. Great comments about all of this, about feeling urgent, about cleaning out your writing space, about all that stuff. Look who showed up. Michael CB Chen. Hello. We are very glad to see you today. So if you haven't figured it out from the chat already, Michael, we are talking about overwhelm. And
What about now?
Yeah, exactly. All right, Michelle, moment of truth. Can you hear us?
You. I don't know what that was. That was so weird. I had the timer go off. But and then you guys were all talking and I couldn't hear anything. Like,
so
yeah, that was weird.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah, very nice. JL popped in. Hello, very glad to see you. Very nice. Everybody's chit-chatting. We did get a little message from Carol. She says she is wiped out, which is kind of funny, right? Because we're all feeling that way. All right, so here we go. Okay, MM Ward says there was a Google update, and she had to reset everything. Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know.
Actually, that's a good point. I did update Chrome.
That could be it. Morgan just finished morning workout. Yay. Very glad that you made it today. So it's 12:30 and I feel like we should try to make sure that we stay on track as far as our writing sprints. But we had talked about feeling overwhelmed and some of the things that you can do. So one of the things Amy had said was that she has a cup with a lid on it. And I was like, I try not to drink that much Coke, but I am today. So yeah, there's that. So not eating crap is something that you should probably do when you're feeling overwhelmed and in burnout. But who actually does that?
I do. I mean,
Really?
I try to stay clean. I try to eat as healthy as I can. And for the most part, I do. Also because I cannot afford all the junk food, so that helps.
my Target emergency delivery junk food to get me through my deadline emergency. Yeah,
but then I have a loaf of bread and I have a box of thing of Nutella, whatever. Bread and Nutella. That's my only junk food that I have at the moment. Nutella imitation, but you know what I mean. And that's the only thing. And also I try to measure it. Like I only reward myself after I feel like I've been very productive during the day, and then I eat my Nutella. Otherwise, no.
Well,
Can I
you
address one
are.
random thing?
Yes, totally.
There was the question from RC. If anyone watched Raised by Wolves, Ridley Scott's series, and I would like to know if people watch this, if it actually came together. I started to watch it, and we thought that there was so much time wasted between raising these kids and flashbacks within flashbacks and this other group of semi-religious people. I'm like, where is this going? It's just not entertaining.
Oh, they're just trying to shovel in too much backstory in the beginning.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have not seen that, and now I probably won't. You know what I did see though last week was Batman, the Batman.
Good.
And the Batman. Oh, let me just say this as a person who does not care for Batman movies. I loved it. It was so good. And my kids who are obsessed with Batman loved it. Like they both it was incredible. I would totally go see it again. Like it was so good.
I haven't seen it yet, but everybody across the board is saying it was the best of the Batman films, the comic book people and everybody else that I've seen online.
It was so good. It was so good. And it was like early Batman. And it was just so, it was well casted. It was really, the only problem I would say is that the theater where we saw it was kind of dark, which of course I didn't think anything of it because Batman movies are always like shot dark. Like super, super dark. But it turns out, but my son who had already seen it was with us and he was like, it was not supposed to be that dark. And then he was at talking to a theater friend of his who said that the director had actually sent out a thing like, please set your projectors. Like I worked really, really hard on this film. Please set your projectors at X level so that people can, see it the way that I intended it. And apparently our theater did not listen, but it was so good. Oh my God, it was so well done.
I cannot watch those movies that are like all dark all the time, like dark room. Like this is why I cannot watch horror series and stuff like that, because it's like dark rooms and everyone is whispering, and I'm like, and without audio descriptions, I don't know what the hell is going on.
What is happening? I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah, I have two problems with production getting into high tech and digital, and that's that lighting seems to be an afterthought, and a lot of times things will just be grayed out in blue instead of mood.
Right.
And the other thing is the audio. When they're talking normal, it's so low you have to strain to listen, and then you turn it up and suddenly the music or action blows your eardrums. There has to be a balance there.
That makes me insane. That I have that problem,
especially with horror.
Yeah. Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah.
Especially with horror. That's a problem I have.
Yeah. So JL says, I can relate to feeling very overwhelmed. For those of you who just popped in the last little bit, that's what we are talking about today, is being overwhelmed, like feeling really overwhelmed, not burned out, but sort of like the road to burnout. Like if you keep with the overwhelm, then you are going to get burned out, and how we are dealing with that. So if anybody has any good tips, let's hear them. Please pop them for
females that, for people with, cycles, like monthly cycles.
Okay, we got it.
Yeah, people with monthly cycles, that will affect you. You don't fight it. Don't try to be overly productive during the times when your body is not ready to be productive. That is scientifically proven. Everyone goes through it. That's why 1 week of the month I am like, okay, this is a week where I basically don't exist, so I will have to deal with it. And
my deadlines are like, body don't care. That right? I mean,
body don't care.
Sometimes you just have like what is going on with your body and what is going on with your work schedule do not agree, and that is the problem. Like, it's not a body problem for me. I just have more stuff on my calendar, and this is my great flaw. I probably have many great flaws, but this is one that I'm very aware of. And that is that I have a belief somewhere in my brain that I can just schedule my way out of any, time constraint ever. So like, I have 300,000 words to write this week. Well, if I just put it all in my planner effectively and use some stickers, then I'll be able to manage
And use
that.
some stickers.
And right. And that can help solve some problems, but it cannot help you solve problems where there's no possible way for a human being to do all the stuff that you're trying to do.
Exactly.
So we had talked about, so drinking lots of water is really good for your brain. Being outside is really good for your brain. And those are both things that are good for stress relief. So even if you can just get out and get 5 or 10 minutes of vitamin D, that's a good thing, like outside in the sunshine. We talked about rescheduling. What else did we talk about, you guys? For our what were some of our other solutions? Not code switching. Michelle had talked about how just working on one thing per day. Do you finish the project before you go to the next one? Okay, Monday is this client, Tuesday is this client. How are you doing that?
I usually, it depends. This last time when I had like 5 clients all with stuff due basically at the end of March, I did do it one at a time. I wrote one book and only thought about it, and then I wrote the second book, and then I wrote the third book, and went through it that way. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. Dawdling Writer says making perfect to-do lists is one of my many, many forms of procrastination. I feel you there. So, all right. I think that piece of advice that you've given about sticking to one, like really giving yourself a good day or a significant period of time to finish one project instead of trying to code switch between projects, is so much more productive. Yeah. And also it gives your brain sort of time to really, think deeply about the project that you're actually working on rather than doing that. So yeah,
I can confirm that like code switching between 2 different things is not always the best. Like with this second sprint that we did, I tried to continue with the outline of what I have to self-edit during the month of April, and it was a lot slower than the original sprint. So like going from chatting over here to back to that didn't work. So that I can confirm that multitasking like that will not work for some people. It will work for some, but not all. So
it generally doesn't work for so sprints only are effective because you're super hyper focused in one for a short period of time, right? So no, like most people are not going to code switch. Oh, JL's got some good advice here. She says, do not schedule extensive editing into overwhelmed times. Yes.
Right.
That is a good thing. For me, I normally I try not to overschedule myself. Sometimes I do get overscheduled, but my problem was that I had some existing clients that had asked me to take on like just a little extra project here, just a little extra project here. And I found myself with like a March that was completely insane. And the smart thing to do would have been to say no, but there are people that I already work with and like working with and already. So it just felt like I needed to just figure out a way to make it happen and take it on. So, all right, let's go ahead and do another sprint. Oh, I've already shared my screen. Look at that. All right, let's go ahead and do another sprint, you guys, and get something done today. Doll, would you like to give us a little pep talk and take us out?
Sure thing.
All right.
All right, friends, it's time for, is it the final sprint? It's the final. Yes. It's the final sprint. So we have one more time to work on our projects, and we're here to support you in whatever it is that you do. You can do this. We can do this. We're in it together. So let's get ready. In 3, 2, 1, and sprint.
All right, everybody. Very nice. So I feel like Colin Clark said, I thought the line in Spider-Man No Way Home was superb, but Laura Nettles. And she says, hold on.
That's what Laura Nettles does for a living.
I know. I know. I was not complaining. I was just saying it's usually they're usually darker, right? And we didn't notice that apparently the Spider-Man was not supposed to be as dark as we saw it. So anyway. All right. No, it's a mood. It's definitely a mood. All right. So cool. That is fantastic. Also, I feel so excited because, I mean, we already love her, but who knew she was such a celebrity? So we have quite a comic contingent in this group. We really do. I mean, it's pretty cool. All right. So how did everybody do in that last sprint?
Good.
Yeah?
Pretty well.
How'd you guys do in the chat? JL says, just a reminder, I'm posting a video over the next few days regarding our new planner journal line launching, available as of April 1st. Yay! I hope you'll all consider checking it out.
Yeah.
JL, if you have a link you want to drop in, that would be fantastic. So we are happy to do that. Congratulations. How exciting for you. All right, you guys, it is 1:03. So we are going to wrap this up for the day. You are all awesome.
Yeah.
Around the chat. I'm going to keep everybody wait. Usually I'm like, what do we do? Let's go to 700 chats. Step up. But this time we're just going to kick it. All right, here we go. So let's start with Robert, since you didn't get much time last time. Robert, tell us a little bit about your channel as we are leaving today. And I am just going to pop up some comments while we're doing that.
The channel will be back in action at some point once I get the writing and other things a little bit more adjusted, because I also have to prioritize and take things one thing at a time. But it is taking all forms of storytelling, including comic books, and putting them under a Sherlockian microscope, comparing them, breaking down the craft, and giving it to the viewer to make your craft journey easier.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
I also do tech reviews from time to time as well.
That was a big, deep pause, Robert. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm putting up comments. I'm doing this. All right. Sako, tell us a little about you before we leave today.
Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voight. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. If you are interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I have a whole playlist of them on my channel, Sako Toomey Cass Voight. It's not just me talking, it's a whole bunch of other awesome author-tubers who have something to say on the topic. I am working on a marketing boot camp of sorts, so keep an eye out on my channel for that.
Awesome. Thanks so much. We can't wait for that. Mama Ward says she's got a stream coming up later today at 4:30 Eastern, part 1 of 30 questions every author should ask their characters. If you are a wrench, drop it in the chat. Michelle.
Nice. I am Michelle Schusterman. I'm a middle grade and young adult author. My YouTube channel is Writing Workshops, Traditional Publishing Chat, and Writing Blogs. Thank you very much for having me, Lisa.
Thank you so much for being here, Doll.
Thank you, Lisa. I am Cecil Runo, a blind storyteller who writes for introspective readers, and my channel is a weird combination of nature and wildlife visuals with writing-related stuff in a way that only I could pull off, apparently. I write mostly sci-fi, so stay tuned for when my book is coming out next year. See you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I am Lisa Daly. I'm a hybrid author. And I write romantic comedies and nonfiction advice. Ginny Noble's got some streaming sprints going on at 4 p.m. Central, which is 5 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see you guys all over there. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here today. As always, we will see you next Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Thanks for being here and have a productive week. Bye.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.